Hello, I'm with Richard Liu, who is president of Huawei Cloud Core Network product line, and I'm going to be talking to Richard about 5G private networks. Now, the first thing I think would be good to establish is what is the difference between 5G private network plus and last year's plain old 5G private network? I mean, what problems does the plus version solve?
Okay. From the name, you can see the difference. 5G private network plus is aggregated versions than last year. During the past year, we collaborated with China operator, especially China Unicom, to do a lot of innovation because we found a lot of requirements from enterprise users and new scenarios. So we focus on three aspects to increase the ability of one cloud, 5G private network plus solution. And the first aspect is network capabilities. The second one is industry adaptations. And the third one is scale replication.
Yes.
All of these three operators are very important to accelerate the 5G B2B business. And for the network capability itself, for the wide area solution, we enable our enterprise customer to use slicing, for instance, for the power grid solution to do the isolate for security for the resources, and for the local area solution, we also increase the capabilities. For instance, we can use internet to connect different universities campus internally, and we also do a lot of industry adaptation. For instance, we enable the machine vision based the machine inspection solutions or some other industry solutions. So the final thing is all of these we should have a methodology to support scale replication.
Yes.
Let me give an example. We have a partner called Fairtech, and he have a lot of campuses across the country. If they want to use 5G, there are different RAN access technologies, different campus situation, and they have a plenty, the third-party applications. Before, if they want to establish a new campus, it needs several months to copy the IT systems, the application systems. We collaborate with China Unicom and Fairtech together, and we baseline the configuration, we baseline as a subscription and the provisioning, all of these things with the MEC platform. So far, we just use several weeks can finish all the new campus, and I think in near future we can reduce it to several days.
Yes.
So I think all of this is what we want to use private network plus to resolve.
Yes. You've mentioned replication quite a few times, large-scale replication of 5G private networks. Now, I understand you've got a partnership with China Unicom, and you've actually managed to achieve that.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could give some details about the progress.
Okay. So, because it's one cloud, it's very important. And one cloud means what? Means the collaboration model between operator and vendors should change. If we want to embrace the new opportunities. So we collaborate with China Unicom, and we enabled one cloud architecture. So that means the 100% market share, one vendor, and we use one cloud NFVI to support the B2B VNF. So that means across the country, we have a centralized control plan, and we can copy all the functionalities to everywhere immediately because we have one vendor cloudification architecture. And China Unicom collaborates with partners, establish a centralized MEC platform. So we use this platform, we baseline and streamline the configuration, provisioning, and to chain.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so all of this is very important. So you see why we decided we want to introduce IT to CT, because IT, they have some advantage of agile.
Right.
But what's the key points of agile? It's just like what I have mentioned, the provisioning, the subscription, and this kind of, the IT platform. But anyway, for city itself, if you want, enterprise use telecommunication infrastructure as a foundation, you must guarantee them, the reliability has no problem. And this is even higher than the traditional, we call 6-9 level reliabilities. The industry, they cannot tolerate any outage.
Sure.
So we combined the city reliability and IT agile together. I think this is the key point why we collaborate with China Unicom can achieve the three, aspects. The compatibility and the replication.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about carriers overseas. I mean, what suggestions would you give to them to stimulate the 5G to B market?
Okay. The different country, different region, they have different, the development of 5G. So what we already, summarize from China market, I think can also be helpful for overseas. And the first one is, before B2B business was developed, we should support operator, just give effective investment. So we suggest, establish a cloud convergence core to support, B2B and B2C business as well.
Yes.
And then, if there is some potential business from a customer, they just deployed, MEC descent to their campus. So that means, they don't need to put a lot of investment in advance, before they already developed the B2B business. And the second is the connectivity ability is very important for MEC in advance. So firstly, we should keep support operator use MEC to enhance the connectivity, just like positioning, just like some third-party application. onboard abilities.
Yes.
So use this way to let the operators can sell 5G dedicated line.
Yes.
And the last one is, reliability, very important. So Huawei gave the, Cadillac solution. Cadillac solution means, the operation was centralized to reduce the OPEX cost.
Yes.
But, according to the different requirements from end users, in case of some, for instance, fiber was cut, we can descend the control plane and user plan deploy to edge at the same time. And when the fiber recovered, the control plane can come back to centralized DC. So use this way to resolve the confliction between the operators. They want do the public cloud, but the enterprise they ask the private cloud to resolve these conflictions.
Right, okay.
Yes. This is my suggestion for overseas 5G.
Okay. Well, let's just talk very briefly about AWS Private 5G. It was recently launched, wasn't it? And they were saying, I think, they could roll out a private 5G network very quickly within some days. What's the difference between the Plus approach and the AWS approach?
Okay, so it's a long story because mobile air computing has been a hot topic for several days.
Yes.
There are a lot of approach. Public cloud is approach, and telco cloud approach, and the spectrum owned by operator is approach, and the spectrum was open spectrum and owned by the enterprise itself is also approach. So let's see. I think every approach should do innovation to match the requirements from enterprise. If you can make the enterprise customer happy, you can achieve, not just a concept. But anyway, telco cloud during the past several years, a lot of practice and innovation, the reliability, I think, is most suitable for the enterprise. But telco cloud operator also must change something. Just like I have mentioned, China Unicom, they do a lot of transformation for MEC platform. They change their subscription, they change their provisioning. I think this is also necessary. And for public cloud, they also need change. If they cannot match the reliability,
Right,
cannot
okay.
match the operation maintenance requirements, they
Yes.
cannot gain the market.
That's right, yes.
Yes. So practice and innovation. Let's see.
Yeah, practice and innovation. It's been great talking to you and getting your insights about 5G private networks and where it's headed. Great talking to you. Thank you, Richard.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.